new Prelude, the new Acura RSX, the TLX is dead, and the ZDX is now dead. Is this the end of Honda? It's starting to really look like it. Let's go over it. Okay, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Mark, this is HSG, and this pretty much brought me out of retirement to make this video. And this is HSG, which usually stands for HondaStreet Garage, but today it's going to stand for Hatin' Street Garage. It's starting to really seem like Honda has lost their way completely and entirely. Now, where should we begin with this one? How about the new Prelude? Now, as many people that are on the internet making videos about the new Prelude and how you should be excited about it just as much as they are because they're getting a chance to look at these cars. Well, I've been fortunate enough to be doing this for like 13 years, know all kinds of industry people, and never been invited to a corporate launch of any kind. I'm going to be completely honest about all of this here. Now, the new Prelude, I mean, it's obvious it's a car nobody really was asking for or wanted. It's a Civic Coupe with a Toyota front end. I'll be 100% honest with you. It's a good looking car, especially the Mugen edition is really attractive. My problem with this car, just like everybody has, is why the name? Why? It seems like it should be called the Civic Coupe, of course, or how about even better, the new CRZ. The new CRZ fits way better. Why are we playing this game when we're pretending it's just like the Prelude? Doesn't look anything like the Prelude. And the Prelude was a car that didn't sell well. And it eventually died. Why? Because the Accord in 2000 took its market. Just like the RSX/Integra was killed off by the Honda Civic Si. It took its market. And things get even worse when you go by a Honda dealership to see that the inventory is stacked up to the gills. Even the cheapest vehicle that you can buy, the Honda Civic LX, which is $24,500 to start after destination and handling and everything like that. You're looking at about $26,000, which is essentially a $500 a month payment, even $600 a month payment. To make it worse, all the vehicles for 2026 are CVT transmissions, which is transmissions nobody really likes or wants, and they're not that reliable. Let's not even talk about the 1.5 engine, which in my opinion is not the worst engine that Honda's ever produced. It's actually pretty good, especially in manual form. Blah, 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 blah. Doesn't matter. Anyway, to the point. The only way you're going to get a manual transmission in 2026 from Honda is to buy the Honda Civic Si. And it only comes in four-door, not hatchback or coupe, of course. It only comes in 4 colors, and 2 of those colors are an upcharge. It doesn't make any sense, and then you're $32,000 out the door for the Si. Just to put that in perspective, when the 2017, 2018 Civic Type R came out, that was the ballpark of what the Type R was at the time. You would buy a 2017 or 2018 Honda Civic Type R, and you'd walk out of there with maybe a $700 a month car payment, which at the time was really high. But, you know, you had a Type R, and they didn't really depreciate in value, so kind of made sense in a way. Well, now you're looking at buying the Si at that same price point, essentially, and now the Type R, if you don't spec it out in any sort of way, is close to $50,000. Starting price, I think, is $46,000. The other problem with the new Prelude is that the pricing. Everybody's kind of estimating the pricing is going to be upwards of $40,000. And it really just boils down to, who is this car for? Other than the average driver who just wants something new and hot and is willing to kind of overpay for it, that just seems to be the buyer for the new Prelude. In all fairness, enthusiasts have always sort of dropped the ball when purchasing these good cars that Honda has made over the years as well. But when you factor in the fact that Honda keeps making cars we don't want and aren't asking for, it really stands to wonder why they keep making the choices that they're making. It's kind of like Honda used to be a company with a bunch of great engineers and smart, car-minded people, but in the later years, it seems that Honda has been completely overtaken by the average normie that buys Starbucks every day. Don't get me wrong, I'm not actually hating on Honda for having SUVs. However, in today's market with inflation and people not even bothering having kids or can't afford to have kids, what sense does an SUV make in today's market? I understand having a Honda Pilot because you've got 2 kids and things have inflated so bad that I know people that live good and are like, we can't afford a new car. A new car payment for a Honda Passport is the same as the Type R. You're going to be spending $1,000 a month. After interest and 60 months of payments is $60,000. What does that matter? The car market used to be a thing where every 4 to 5 years people would come in, trade their cars in, and get a new one. Problem with that is that these vehicles are now so expensive and not as reliable as they used to be, so they don't hold the value that they used to. It's really going to be a big problem for Honda and Acura in the future. Now onto the new Acura RSX. This one's my personal favorite. Kind of like putting a stab wound into enthusiasts because they brought back the Integra, they teased us, and we thought it was going to be a two-door sports coupe. We didn't get that. Yet we're getting the Prelude back without a manual. Only makes 200 horsepower. Let's put this in perspective. The last Prelude to be sold in 2001 had 200 horsepower. It's now 25 years later. How much does it have? 200 horsepower. I'm not saying it's probably not a good car, but it just stands to reason. What is going on in these board meetings? Like, who wants this? The thing that really bothers me the most is that they killed the Civic Coupe because why? Coupes don't sell. Then why are you bringing the Prelude back? And then the same reason why the Integra was a four-door, not a two-door? Coupes don't sell. The positive side is the new Prelude might have a Type R version with, the Type R power plant. It might be manual, but it's not manual, so, whatever. Whatever. What do I know? Not to mention the TLX is now dead, which I guess from bad sales. And then the new ZDX has been killed off as well. I've known for a while that Honda has been doing a joint venture with GM, but I guess that is now souring. My concern with the whole car industry, and especially Honda as well, is the fact that if you notice, they're still building these things around everywhere called, what are they called? Gas stations. That's right. Gas stations are still being built everywhere. Yet Honda is pushing hybrid as well as all-electric vehicles. And while an all-electric vehicle sounds great on paper, anybody that has to take longer than a 5-6 hour trip somewhere, you're going to need the mileage from a gasoline engine. It's just that simple. Electric charging isn't there yet. And I think most people don't really want a Tesla, in my opinion. And that's where Honda is sort of moving to. Now, do I understand that EVs are part of the future? Absolutely. I'm not against it. If I were going to go buy a new car right now from Honda, I would go buy the HR-V. I wouldn't even bother with the Civic because the Civic doesn't make any sense. It's heavier than it's ever been. It only comes with a 150 horsepower engine, unless you get the hybrid and or SI. And even at that, think about this. In 2002, Honda put out the EP3 with 160 horsepower. 2.0. So now in 2026, when you go to the dealership and you buy a Honda Civic LX or Sport, it comes with a 2.0, 150 horsepower engine. It just feels like things are going backwards. As a consumer and enthusiast, I'm going to be 100% honest with you. The golden era is definitely gone. That's without question. But if I were in the market for a new car, which I'm not, and most people are just not, I'd be looking at Toyota. Honestly, I'd be looking at other car companies at this point. Because what Honda offers is just everything that they've done before. To put it in another perspective, in 2019, I bought a brand new FK7, a brand new 2019 Honda Civic hatchback sport model. 6-speed. That car was $23,000 sticker. I got a little discount on it. It was like $21,000 because I was an employee at the time. My payments were $340 a month, and that car's 180, almost 200 horsepower, 1.5 turbo. I still have that car. It has over 150,000 miles at this point, and I haven't had one problem out of it, and it's paid off. So why would I want to go to Honda and buy another car when I don't need one, which is what most people are in the position of, buy something that I feel is less reliable and more expensive. Why? Because it has Apple CarPlay? Personally, I just don't see where the value is anymore, especially in the new cars. Now, does that mean Honda's going to die tomorrow? No. I don't have a problem with any of the SUVs Honda makes, mostly because that's the bread and butter that makes the money that should give the engineers the opportunity to build sports cars people want. It's just my problem with the new Prelude is that it just doesn't make any sense on paper. Now, will it be a success? Time will tell. The new RSX is a problem because I don't know why they're calling it an RSX. Well, the name is free. And why do they do this? If you don't know why they do this, it's because they don't have to create a new name, trademark it, and go through the whole thing. It's already got research and hashtags and all the stuff behind it, and name recognition behind it to help sell it. So that's why they keep pulling these names. They could have called the new Prelude the CRZ. It makes a lot more sense. I don't understand why you wouldn't call it the new CRZ. As well as the fact that the new RSX is an SUV. That doesn't make any sense. You could have called it the new ILX. I don't know why Acura just insists on these acronyms that people get so confused with. And now they've completely axed the TLX and the ZDX for other reasons. I guess because the TLX wasn't selling, and the ZDX for some other reasons because it's still a joint venture with GM. With all of that being said, it just brings it to the point. Is Honda really in trouble? Does this spell the end for Honda? I mean, because it just seems like they keep trying to make cars that people don't really want, and it seems like they're going backwards with the numbers. By all accounts, the Type R should make 400 horsepower, and the Civic Si should make 250, 275, and the regular Civic should make 200, and don't even get me started on the Accord and what's happened to the Accord. But with that being said, I mean, that's kind of where we should be. It feels like, at least. Am I wrong? Tell me in the comments how wrong I am. If you have an older Honda, I guess rejoice, because your value of your older Honda is going to go up. All right, so that pretty much wraps up this video of me hating on Honda. I hope to see you at Classic Hondas on the Dragon 10 this year, which is coming up next weekend. And I'm bringing my RSX, which, if you don't know, I have an RSX. There will be videos uploaded after the Tail of the Dragon about the RSX. It's a year-long build, blah, 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 blah. Hopefully this is a chance to get back into the fold and make more videos. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Peace out.